It was one of those nights when the rain doesn't just fall, it cuts through the air like it's got something personal against you. I had just finished my third shift of the day, dragging my tired body down a half-lit street in Brookdale, praying my old sneakers would hold together long enough to get me home to my little girl. And that's when I saw him. At first I thought he was just another drunk passed out against the wall of the laundromat. But as I got closer, the street light caught the shine of his watch, a watch that looked like it belonged in a glass case, not on the wrist of a man with torn clothes and rain dripping from his hair. He lifted his head and his eyes, they didn't look lost. They looked heavy, like he'd been carrying something too big for too long. "Ma'am, I'm fine," he said, voice low, polite, which honestly just made me more suspicious. Nobody who's fine sits in the pouring rain, bleeding from the eyebrow. I should have kept walking. My mum always told me, don't bring strangers into your home. But I couldn't leave him there. Maybe it was the way his hands shook. Maybe it was because I knew exactly what it felt like to be invisible. So I reached out my hand. "Come on. I live close." He hesitated, then took it. My apartment isn't much 2 rooms, peeling paint, a heater that sounds like it's coughing to death, but it's warm and it's safe. My daughter Mia peeked out from the bedroom, rubbing her eyes. "Mama, who's that?" "Just someone who needs a dry place tonight," I told her. He didn't talk much as I cleaned the cut on his brow, but he thanked me genuinely, like people don't anymore. And when I split my last sandwich in half, he didn't touch his until I took a bite first. The next morning he tried to leave, but he looked so unsteady I told him to sit back down. That's when he reached into his pocket and pulled out a couple $100. "For the trouble," he said. I pushed it back. "I didn't do it for money." He smiled faintly. "Then think of it as groceries for the kid." I wanted to argue, but the truth was, the fridge was nearly empty. And the way he said it, it didn't feel like pity. It felt like someone who understood what it meant to need help. Over the next few days, he stayed, fixed the cabinet door that had been hanging off its hinge for months, helped Mia with her math homework, told stories that made her laugh so hard she spilled juice on herself. I caught myself smiling more too, which was strange, but because smiling had felt like a luxury for years. Then out of nowhere, I got a call. A marketing firm offering me a job I hadn't even applied for. $60,000 a year, benefits regular hours. It sounded too good to be real, but the HR lady swore they'd heard about me through a recommendation. I didn't connect the dots then. I took the job, quit 2 of my shifts, kept 1 for security, started sleeping more than 4 hours a night. Mia said I looked less tired in the eyes, which hit me harder than I expected. But the man, Ethan, as I finally learned, kept doing things that didn't add up. Groceries that magically appeared. School fees for Mia covered before I even got the bill. Every time I asked, he'd brush it off with a joke. Then one night, Mia curled up next to him on the couch, looked up and said, "Are you going to stay with us forever?" Ethan froze, then looked at me. "Only if your mum lets me." I laughed it off, but inside something shifted. He wasn't just passing through anymore. A week later, he asked me to come see a place with him. Not just any place, a townhouse with a yard and a big front porch in a neighborhood where the lawns are green year-round. "We could live here," he said, like it was the most natural thing in the world. That's when I stopped him. "Ethan, who are you really?" He hesitated, then said it quiet but clear. "I'm the CEO of Rodriguez Ventures. My family's been in business for decades. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to see me before you saw the name." I stared at him, my heart pounding. "So you've been pulling strings? The job, the bills, all of it?" "Yes," he admitted, "because you deserve better than what life's been handing you. And I didn't want to watch you break yourself just to survive." I wanted to scream, to hug him, to throw him out. Instead I said, "If we're doing this, we do it honest. No secrets, no savior complexes." He nodded. "Deal." We moved into that townhouse a month later. Mia got her own room and a swing set in the backyard. I got to decorate the kitchen exactly how I wanted. Ethan still worked insane hours, but he was home for dinner more nights than not. The first time I visited his world, his glass and steel office tower, it felt like stepping onto another planet. People in suits glanced at me, then did double takes when Ethan introduced me as his partner. I won't lie. A part of me enjoyed that. Then came the charity gala. I was nervous, floor-length dress hair done, feeling like a fish out of water, but Ethan never let go of my hand. And halfway through the night, under a chandelier the size of my old apartment, he got down on one knee. Maya Washington. Will you marry me? I couldn't even get the yes out before Mia ran onto the dance floor, yelling, "Say yes, mama." The whole place laughed. We planned the wedding in 3 months. His family embraced Mia instantly. Even my own, who'd shut me out years ago, showed up awkward and apologetic, but ready to be part of our lives again. On the day, Ethan didn't just put a ring on my finger. He handed Mia a small gold band and said, "This is my promise to you too." She cried. I cried. Half the guests cried. Now, some people will say it's a fairy tale, that I got lucky because a rich man fell in my lap. But they didn't see the years I spent scraping by, the nights I cried in the bathroom, so Mia wouldn't hear the times I swallowed my pride to keep the lights on. Ethan didn't save me. We built this life together, brick by brick, choice by choice. And here's the part that might surprise you. Even now, with the money, the house, the new last name, I still keep my old sneakers, the ones I was wearing the night we met. Not because I need them, but because they remind me of where I came from and why I'll never forget to stop when I see someone sitting in the rain. So, tell me, what would you have done that night, kept walking or reached out your hand, knowing it might change everything? I'm curious to hear. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I have a feeling this is one of those stories people will never agree on.